Hi! Welcome back to our channel.
Living with L&L. And we are doing a cooking segment today.
Actually, we're going to start doing a cooking series because I need to learn recipes for when I go to my apartment next semester. So starting today, we are going to do a cook with us. And then some weeks you'll see my mom cooking by herself when I'm not here. But today we are cooking
lasagna. It's an old family recipe. I made a few tweaks here and there. Right now I can't, here, Lindsay, can you tie this up tighter?
Yeah.
I gotta have my apron up a little tighter. I'm going to kind of show you what I'm doing. It's not tight enough. Sorry. I can't do anything until you type my thing. Still not tight enough. Okay, I just gotta start by washing my hands, always. Lindsay, would you preheat the oven to 375, please?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll be the one like saying the steps as we go, and in the description you guys can see the recipe if you guys want to make it by yourself. All right, so I'm doing this in my pajamas. They're super cute. These are from Amazon. They're like black silk, so that's what I'm wearing.
So cute. Okay, so we're gonna get started. First order of business is you need to get a pan, whatever kind of pan.
Usually like this size of a pan, I think, is what you use, right?
Yeah. Usually, yeah.
Here you go.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff that's gonna go in it. I cook my meat starting with burgers. Hamburger.
All right, so you'll put about a tablespoon in here, and this is what it will look like.
So I do about 2 cloves of garlic. I'm just gonna saute that for a little bit. So the exciting news is Lindsay's gonna be coming home from school. Then after you saute your garlic, you add a pound, give or take, hamburger, and I use my little smush. Actually, that's probably not the official word of it. Just to kind of break it up a little bit. And then you just have to brown the hamburger a little bit.
All right, while she's cooking that, I will let you guys know if you cannot hear anything in here and the audio is bad, I will type on the clip like what we're doing and then all the steps down below in the description with the ingredients.
Of course, you gotta wash your hands after touching raw meat. And of course, we still have our Christmas soap out, so we're gonna have to get our like spring soaps out, which we will do. Also, I listen to Frank Sinatra music while I'm cooking. I don't know why. It helps me.
Do you want to say your favorite song?
Well, probably my favorite is, I love Fly Me to the Moon, but a sentimental favorite is Summer Wind, because that was my mother-in-law's favorite. I learned a lot of cooking from her. And we used to like to drink wine and talk about Frank Sinatra. And then when I'm cleaning, I listen to Jimmy Buffett. Very strange. Frank Sinatra for cooking, Jimmy Buffett for cleaning. Okay, I'm gonna get back to browning the meat.
My favorite summer drink is definitely the strawberry acai lemonade refresher. So I want to know what you guys get. And if you have any like suggestions of refresher, let me know. My dad got one today and added peach juice. I'm gonna have to try that next time because it was really good. But yeah, also these videos will be mainly my mom, and I'll be watching and kind of adding points in throughout the whole time. And if you guys want to know or have any questions about the recipe after it's done, let me know in the comments and we'll try to reply to you.
Okay, now it's time to strain all the grease and all the oil stuff out of the meat.
That's what it'll look like when it's done.
And start the actual pasta stuff, the sauce. Okay, so to start to do the sauce, you're gonna do 1 can of tomato paste, that size, what size that is, 1 can of tomato sauce, and then 1 can of whole tomatoes. I just need to get my little spatula.
So the tomato paste is actually 6 ounces, so if you guys want that one, that would be 6 ounces for this recipe. And then the tomato sauce is gonna be 8 ounces, and then the whole tomatoes is gonna be 12 ounces. So that's the sizes you guys will be looking for when you're making this sauce.
Tomatoes in there.
And then you're gonna go with the tomato sauce.
Okay, the tomato sauce. And then you get a little spoon for the tomato paste, because tomato paste, as you all know, doesn't come out very easily. Excuse me. Okay. And you put the tomato paste. All the tomato paste. Now, I'll tell you the important part of this next step here. I'm gonna get a, oops, oh, that was a mess. Okay, so now you get a big spoon, because what you do is you want to mash up the tomatoes. You don't want them to be whole, obviously, because they're not going to work in the sauce if they're whole. So you kind of just smash them up like this and stir everything around. Get all the juice out of them, kind of like that.
And the we'll be back with the next step after that.
So then to that you add like 2 tablespoons of basil. I just kind of
Sprinkle it.
I kind of like just do 2 little handfuls of it, kind of like you'd see with a handful, and I just sprinkle it in there, and you stir it up, and now you kind of let this simmer for a little bit, and while you're letting it simmer, you make the next stage of the lasagna, which is the cheesy part of the lasagna.
All right, so I actually had a question. I don't know if you guys will have this question, so I'm gonna ask my mom and maybe she can answer. For the tomato, like actual chunks that you put in there, I know some people don't like that. Is that a required item, or can you go without that?
Well, no, you really can't, because that's actually what makes the tomato sauce.
Okay.
I'm guessing though, if you want lasagna, you're probably going to accept it unless you make like a different kind of lasagna, like a Mexican lasagna.
My
or
other
something
question
like
is,
that.
could you so you don't get like big chunks of it in lasagna, could you like crush it up more than
You
did?
could probably, I've never done it, but you could probably use crushed tomatoes would work as well.
Okay.
I've just never used those because I'm fine with
Just
the tomatoes.
in
But
case.
yeah, I'm sure you could probably
I
try
like it either way.
That's a good
but
question though. That was a good question.
I like it either way. I was just in case anyone was wondering.
I'm going to go get the rest of my ingredients to put into the cheese portion of this. This is the actual cheesy part. So you take a thing of ricotta, and you can either use whole milks, part skim. They just had a deal on the whole milk one, so I got the whole milk one at the store.
And you can also get this from like any
Yeah.
grocery store. We got it from Meyer if you're around.
That's where I shop. So you pour the ricotta cheese.
Will this be the whole entire tub?
Yes. And you can use, like, it depends on how cheesy you like it. Like, we like ours
really
cheesy,
cheesy.
as you will see by the other parts of the recipe that I kind of changed from my mom's recipe. So I use a whole tub. But to each his own. This probably works with cottage cheese. I know a lot of people like to put cottage cheese in their lasagna. Not a fan myself, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. Okay, then you take an egg, which, you know, are precious these days. That's a very expensive egg. Just like eyeball the Parmesan. I use some fresh Parmesan, just like eyeball it. You can also grate it in there if you're into grating your own cheeses. Again, for convenience purposes, I don't grate my own cheese.
Take us a quick check on the little sauce we have going here. So this is what you'll start to look like after it's been simmering for a little bit. And then come over to the cheese and egg.
You just kind of mix this pretty well. I'm just trying to get all like the Parmesan and everything all mixed up. And then what you do is you add you add a little parsley for just like for some color. I'm not a big fan of parsley, so I only add just like a little bit, but a way
If
that...
you like it, you could probably put more.
Oh, sure,
I don't
absolutely.
think it really
And there's
matters.
not really a taste of parsley, but it's annoying. But something I did do my mom doesn't is I add a little oregano. There we go.
But okay, this is my other question. Are these 2 ingredients a necessity in this recipe?
I don't think so.
Okay, so if you guys don't have oregano or parsley and you don't feel like going out to the store
It's
to get
more
it,
like just like kind of adds a little color to the actual
it's no
stuff.
need. Like, don't, if you are trying to make this recipe and you don't have this, just don't.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
So now we are ready to assemble our lasagna. On the bottom of the pan, just like
And this is the assembling process.
this. I don't even know why we do this, but it's how the recipe calls for it. So you just kind of put a little bottom here, and then you take your lasagna noodles. Now, I personally like the oven ready lasagna noodles just because it's a lot, you know, like with the ones that you boil. Those are fine too. This is, again, so much easier. One day I'm going to make fresh pasta. I don't know when that's going to be, but
We'll
one of these
definitely film
days,
it.
I want to make fresh pasta. So, okay, so you go ahead and put your layer of lasagna
Sorry about that.
noodles.
The oven's preheated. Oh, how much do you preheat the oven to?
375. Okay, and then I break mine up here, so it puts on the bottom. There we go. Okay, so once you've got that, you're going to spread half of the cheese mixture on here. So you put it like about that.
And that was ricotta cheese, fresh Parmesan cheese,
An egg, and then if you want some parsley and some
oregano.
For 1 second, I'm going to get my other tool that I like to spread with. And I just get my rubber spatula. It's just easier for me, but use whatever you want. So I just kind of spread it on. Make sure you get it on all the nice, like that. Okay. All right, and then you're going to put half of the tomato sauce on there.
which is this.
Okay. Be careful with this part because it can be a little bit...
Trying to give you guys like a POV, so.
to get a little messy. Okay, so about approximately half. Okay, and then
Does that have to be exact?
Oh, of course not, no. You just kind of spread that around. Okay, and this is where I get a little nutty. I add a lot of cheese. So on top of that layer, I put I covered that layer with sliced mozzarella. You can use provolone. You know, if you're watching...
Honestly, any cheese, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching your dairy intake, you don't have to put any cheese in. You don't have to put extra cheese in if you don't want to. We just like a lot of cheese, so I'm going to go ahead and spread cheese on this.
We'll be back once that's spread out.
You basically just repeat the layers. So I'm going to put more lasagna noodles on.
Just like that, and you're gonna do that, then the cheese mixture, then the sauce, and then the extra layer of cheese if you want, and then that will be that part.
Oh, yeah, and then I'll show you what you do before.
So we'll be back once we finish this layer.
I actually do this last layer a little differently. So I put on the cheese, the ricotta cheese mixture, and then I lay this on here, and you'll understand why in a minute. Again, we like a lot of cheese, it's not necessary. Okay, then I put on this layer.
And this is the rest of it?
This is the rest of it. And the top layer tends to have more just because I'm never sure if I'm judging half right when I'm making the other layer, unfortunately. So, it always ends up having. Then what I do, I preface this by saying we like cheese. And this is the first time I've done provolone mozzarella mix, so we'll see. But I put on some shredded mozzarella on the top. I'm doing mozzarella this time. Mozzarella.
What do you normally do?
Just usually mozzarella, but I tried the provolone. Just a little smattering on top. It gives a good color when it's when it bakes. It gets like a nice golden brown. There we go. And then I can put it in the oven for 45 minutes. And again, watch the oven.
And then this will go in the oven for 45 minutes or until it's golden brown.
Until it's golden brown and bubbling. And then yeah. All right, so while that's cooking, we're doing a few other things. So my husband likes a lot of sauce with his lasagna, and the lasagna itself doesn't create a lot of sauce. So I actually just get him some jar sauce so he can toss it on if he wants. Lindsay and I are, sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. And the other thing I'm doing actually is for my garlic bread, I'm making homemade garlic bread. I'm just gonna melt some butter right now. I just have some unsalted butter, which I'll add the garlic to after this gets starting to melt. And that's, and then I'm getting ready for my asparagus, so. Okay. All right, so I've melted a half a stick of butter. And I put a generous amount of garlic in there.
We'll talk about the bread that you use.
Yes, I will. So I just basically sliced up a French bread. Just basically French bread from the bakery.
You could use other breads though.
Oh, absolutely. And you can use like little toasts if you want. It's really pretty much.
That's optional.
We just really we happen to like. Sometimes I melt the butter. Sometimes I just soften the butter. This time I melted it. Might have to actually melt another. I might have to do another round of it. Yeah, I'm gonna do another half a thing of it.
You don't really have to.
No, I don't normally do it like this. I tried something different. Trying a little bit new. I'm mixing things up.
And I'm just gonna spread this out just so it gets across the bread.
I'm mixing things up, people. I'm mixing things up.
So that's what I'm doing right now. You guys are
I do that sometimes. All right, so I'm gonna melt this butter.
I did have a question actually.
Of course.
So I'm trying to ask questions, so if you guys have any, hopefully we can cover them as we're making this. For the garlic, if you don't like as much garlic.
Oh, garlic, completely what your taste is. We love garlic, so lots of garlic for us.
Wanted to show you guys what this one is done right here. I'm kind of trying to show you guys what it looks like.
We can actually get the one ready. So show them how to do the one ready. The thing. So okay. So oops, sorry about that.
Just do it all at
I
once.
just stuffed the lasagna. First of all, it makes for great leftovers. It tastes great the second day.
Like any pasta, honestly.
Yeah, really. And then I actually a lot of times if I have the time, I like to make it ahead of time. So make it the night before or the morning of, and you could just pop in the oven at dinner time. But just be conscious of the fact that it's going to be longer to bake at that time. It would take an hour to bake as opposed to 45 minutes, roughly. And then as far as what you serve with it, that's really up to you. We've done different things. We've had salad before, we've had vegetables. Tonight we're actually having asparagus with it because I love asparagus. So we're having asparagus with it, and I always serve it with garlic bread. Sometimes I buy garlic bread, but lately we've been on a kick of me making fresh garlic bread.
And it's definitely healthier to do this version than to do the
we love
frozen,
the fresh.
It tastes better fresh. It tastes more like an Italian meal. For the asparagus, if I have to have asparagus, it's not my favorite, but I like to have more of it. So we get two, what are these called? Like two stalks?
Bunches.
And
here's the thing too is you can obviously make your asparagus however you like it. We just like our steamed. I mean, I have had it roasted before, but we just steam ours.
Should I start cutting these?
Yes. And for those of you who don't know, I'm sure most of you know, but the easiest way to do it is you just hold it and where it has the natural bend. You bend it and you toss this end and you keep the end with the little leaves.
Just, again, it would be like this.
Yep.
And if it's not perfect, it's okay. Just make sure you throw out this one and not this one. I've almost done that.
And then
before.
you obviously want to wash these before you cook them. So
yeah, we usually do that last.
Yeah.
But we break them, wash them, and you'll put them in the pan.
And then we'll be back to finish up the garlic bread.
Here's what it looks like after the Italian seasoning.
And then we've talked about how much we like cheese. So what's garlic bread without some fresh mozzarella?
A question actually I have: are you able to use like not fresh mozzarella? Could you use like
Absolutely.
bagged mozzarella? Or
You use whatever you want. We just really prefer the regular.
And this actually gave us the sliced one, so
nice and easy. Again, just gonna put it.
this is done. Just put the slices across the garlic bread. You also could only use, you don't have to, if you have a smaller family or just you for yourself, just use one stick of the French bread. You don't need to use both. So how long will the garlic bread take?
That one's tough. I just keep a really close eye on it. You just want to have it until the cheese is melted basically and it's warmed up. It's taken anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes. It also depends too if you have something else in the oven, which we do. So it just really depends.
And it goes in at 375 temperature.
You can do 375. You want it done a little quicker, you can do 425. It's really up to you.
What time of the point where you're in the lasagna would you want to put that garlic bread in so it's done with the lasagna?
When you're feeling like the lasagna is almost done, because what you really should do is bring the lasagna out, let it sit a little bit before you cut it. So, which I'm going to do here shortly. I'm going to bring it out and let it sit a little bit and settle. So,
And then how long does the asparagus take?
not even 5 minutes after the water boils, maybe 5 minutes.
Okay. All right, we're just going ahead and washing the asparagus. Steaming the asparagus. Now here's what it looks like.
We're just going to tension it a little bit with olive oil to keep it warm, but letting it settle a little bit and wait for the garlic bread to get done, and then we'll be ready to eat.
And be careful, the sides are really hot.
Really hot.
This is the finished garlic bread. You can definitely melt the cheese more if you want. This is good for us, so we're gonna go ahead and chop this up, and then we'll give you guys a food review. All right, guys, I have this all plated. So I have my lasagna, garlic bread, and my asparagus. I add a pinch of salt in the asparagus for a little bit of flavoring, but you guys should go try whatever seasoning you want when you make this recipe.
So we appreciate you watching tonight.
Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like,
Comment,
and subscribe down below.
until next time.
Bye, guys.